Hey guys, what's up? This is Francisco with Valareso Capital. We're gonna do a quick review of the weekly watch list for the week of May 2nd. And remember guys that this video is for informational purposes only, and all these ideas are based solely on my personal ideas and opinions. So thank you so much guys for being here. Now let's take a look at some of the charts. And as you can see, we are in a bear market. So most of these opportunities are gonna be to the short side. So first of all, let's start here with CLF. You can see here CLF, pretty interesting, right? We have earnings out of the way, and a lot of people were watching CLF when it was trading somewhere around this level, right? Everyone was looking for a breakout, and we had a really strong move here from that 21 exponential moving average. However, as you can see, the MOX indicator, which is pretty important, is a pretty important indicator for my analysis, was already moving lower while the price was kind of rounding here. And you can see the squeeze, which is another important component of my strategy, was already losing momentum and pointing lower. Now that we finally have earnings out of the way, you can see that the price was flagging somewhere around that 50 daily moving average, that the 8 already crossed to the downside below that 21 exponential moving average, and the hourly MOXY is already trending below zero. So any moves into these weekly quant pivot labels are going to be opportunities to get a short position and then look for more downside, perhaps into this 200 daily moving average. Of course, I don't want to short it here, but if we happen to get any bounce into that declining 8 or this declining 50 hourly, those are going to be really nice opportunities to take some short positions in CLF. Now let's take a look at the next one. Here I have MRK, and this one is a name from the healthcare space, from the XLB. And right now, right, we had earnings, we had a very strong really a pocket pivot volume to the upside after earnings. And what is the setup here, right? A lot of people are looking actually for a breakout, but what I'm seeing right here is that the MOXY indicator, you can see that we actually made a higher high, but the MOXY indicator continues to make a low. The MOXY indicator actually made a lower high, and we are below zero. So my expectation right here, so this is a DTSS setup. A DTSS setup is basically a setup where you wait for the candle to close below this high right here, and then use this high as your covering guide. So that way you can manage your risk and then look for a failed breakout and a fast move lower, perhaps to this 21 exponential moving average. And then I'll be looking for this 50 daily moving average. Remember that the most important thing about this setup is to manage your risk and set a stop above the high of this candle right here. Now let's take a look at UNH. And UNH is another name in the healthcare space in the XLB. And you can see here we had earnings. The MOX indicator is already pointing lower. We have a squeeze that is also pointing lower. And you can see we kind of make a double top here. But look what the MOXY was doing. The MOXY was already trending lower. We finally broke. We're trending below that 8 exponential moving average, which is now trading below that 21 exponential moving average. And then I'll be looking for a break of this 50, and then perhaps a move somewhere around this 49 to 40.80 zone. But of course, I don't want to short it right here in support. I'll be waiting for a rally back into this declining 50 hourly, or that declining 8 exponential moving average, or that 21 exponential moving average. Now let's take a look at the next name, and I have X, which is the steel. And you can see here, right, a lot of people were waiting for a breakout in X. But what was the MOXY indicator doing? The MOXY was already moving lower. A lot of people looking for a breakout here. MOXY indicator was already moving lower. MOXY indicator was already trending below zero. And then, of course, we had a break to the downside. And right now that we have a squeeze, we have earnings out of the way, you can see that this got rejected at this declining 21 exponential moving average. So I'll be looking for any rallies into that declining 8 exponential moving average, or this declining 50, as opportunities to short, and then perhaps look for a move all the way down to that 200 daily moving average. Now let's take a look at CVX. And of course, we can see CVX, right? We already have earnings out of the way. A lot of people were looking for a breakout, including myself. I was looking for a breakout here, but of course the Moxie was already trending lower, kind of a double top here, but the Moxie was already trending lower. We had a move above that 50 hourly, but the MOX indicator was already below zero, and that is an inverse trampoline. And from failed moves, we got a really fast move to the downside. And now, what is this name doing? Basically flagging below that 50 daily moving average. So this one is looking like a short. Then we have ALCOA, pretty similar patterns, right? Kind of have a head and shoulders right here in the hourly. MOX indicator was already trending below zero. We have earnings out of the way. And what is this one doing? Kind of a bear flag into that 8 exponential moving average, into this 50 hourly moving average. And you can see that the MOXIE continues to make lower highs. Then we have the Q. This is a name in the solar space. And you can see here, rejected at that 50 daily moving average. You can see that the squeeze is pointing lower, rejected at the 200 hourly, and the MOX indicator is below zero. One can use that 50 as a covering guide and then look for a break of these lows and a continuation to the downside. Then we have Oxy, which has been a favorite right in the FinTweet community. But you can see right here, right? Oxy was trending sideways. MOX indicator was already trending lower. You can see it better in the hourly chart where we were testing these levels. The MOXIE was already below zero. So price should not be above the 50 hourly when the MOXIE indicator is below zero. And then of course we had a pretty strong move to the downside. And now what is it doing? Now we're testing that 50 hourly from below. And now we're testing the 21 exponential moving average. So far we're getting rejected, kind of a bear flag, looking for a break of this 50 and a continuation lower before the earnings are announced. And basically a similar pattern in the XLE as we saw in Chevron, in CBX, and we saw in Oxy. Basically price moving higher, MOXIE's indicator moving lower. We have an I squeeze that is pointing lower, and this is looking like a bear flag that is getting rejected at that 21 exponential moving average. And then finally, the name that I'm watching in kind of the mega cap space, which I don't think is extended to the downside just yet, is Facebook, right? We had a pretty strong move to the downside. We had earnings. We had a move all the way down to that 50 daily moving average. So far, we are getting rejected. And you can see that that is also the 200 hourly, and the MOX indicator is below zero. So price should not be above the 50 hourly when the MOX indicator is below zero. So my expectation is that you can set a stop somewhere around this candle right here, somewhere around this high. And then I'll be looking for this 50 to act as resistance, and perhaps Facebook to come all the way down here and fill this gap. So basically my expectation is for all the market to continue to move lower. Perhaps we're going to see a bounce at the beginning of the week, but these setups that I'm showing you are pretty textbook setups. So, but we have to look for levels in which we can manage our risk as best as we can. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. Let me know what names are you watching. And of course, also remember to follow me on my other social media accounts, as like Twitter, which is at Valareso Capital. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. Take care, and I wish you the best of luck next week. Thank you. Cheers.